How are you all doing? My name is Timothy. I'm a personal trainer in Richmond Hill, Ontario. In today's video, I'm going to cover whether or not you should do the compound lifts first. So let's see what we're going to cover. So we are going to cover why people do the compound lifts first, why people do isolation work first, and which you should do first. So why do people do compound lifts first usually? Well, the main reason is because it's a lot more taxing on the body. For most people, they're going to be able to load up a lot more weight with their squat, bench, and deadlift than they ever will with a leg extension. And because of that, because of the sheer load and sheer effort they have to use to get that weight up with the compound lifts, it's going to be way harder, more mentally draining and physically draining than the isolation work, okay? If you're trying to put your compound lifts at the end of the workout, you're going to be way too drained to get your best performance, especially if you're trying to go for higher numbers, which gets me into my next point. If you are a strength athlete or you're a performance athlete and you're trying to go for a specific goal target in terms of your numbers or whatever, you probably don't want to be pre-fatiguing yourself. You don't want to be doing your isolation work first because you have a goal to set. And in terms of your workout, you're going to have the most energy at the beginning of your workout, okay? And if you waste all that energy doing isolation work, you're going to have a hard time getting your best effort out of your compound lifts, okay? Now, the last main reason why people do compound lifts first is because they don't always have a lot of time. If you're trying to hit every single muscle group or most of your muscle groups with only isolation work, you're going to have a hard time trying to fit that in 1 hour. But with compound lifts, if you do all that first, well, hit most of your muscle groups with, 1 or 2 compound lifts, oh man, you're going to have a much easier time filling the rest with your isolation work. Now, moving on. Why do people use isolation work first? Okay. The main reason, well, the main two reasons are because they want to warm up their joints before lifting heavy, or they're trying to pre-fatigue a muscle and get a better pump. So let's go over both of them. For example, your bench pressing, okay? You're bench pressing and, your elbow feels really creaky. You probably don't want to be bench pressing just yet. You might want to warm up that elbow joint by doing some tricep extensions or bicep curls, just a little bit of light work just to get the blood pumping into that area before you get into the bench press. It might relieve a little bit of tension and pain in that area. But of course, if you feel sharp pain, definitely get checked out by a physiotherapist. I am not a medical professional, okay? Definitely get checked out and diagnosed properly, okay? So yeah, warming up the joint could be a very good reason as to why you might do isolation work first, as long as it's very light, okay, not intense. Another reason why people do isolation work first is to pre-fatigue their muscle. So this is more for bodybuilders and advanced athletes. Let's go with the advanced athletes first. For advanced athletes, these guys are going to be lifting a lot more weight than us normies, okay? Like some of these guys are squatting 400, 500 pounds. And if, they're trying to go down the path of, maintain their performance and not be as speed up, they have to get more out of less weight. And usually that's going to be put through pre-fatigue. So say, for example, you can squat 400 pounds. Oh man, that's great. But are you feeling your quads? Are you able to maintain your quad size without being shocked for the rest of the week? Probably not, unless, you use less weight and you get a better stimulus by doing a little bit of leg extensions, okay? So pre-fatiguing the muscles for advanced athletes can be a pretty good thing. Now, for bodybuilders, it can also be a pretty good thing because if you want to feel the muscle, like say, for example, you're doing push-ups, okay? You're doing push-ups, but you can't feel your pecs. Oh man, you might want to do some pec flies, get blood pumping to that area, then do your push-ups slow and controlled, feel the pump. Okay, way better. Now it's like a 9-day difference. So usually pre-fatigue can be a pretty good reason as to why some people will go with, isolation work first. So moving on. Which one should you do first? If you're a powerlifter or competitive athlete, probably the compound lifts because it makes the best use of your time. And especially if you are short on time, definitely use the compound lifts first. If you're a normal person, probably compound lifts first because too many people are bicep curling in the squat rack. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be lifting very heavy, lifting hard, and stimulating the most amount of muscle groups, okay? So if you're a normal person, compound lifts first for the most part. Now, it also depends on which muscle group you want to grow the most. If you're trying to grow your pecs, you can probably do some pec flies and then go into your bench press. If you are trying to train your back, oh man, you might as well just do, your rows instead of trying to do like pullovers at that point. So it really depends on which muscles that you want to hit first and what your main goal is, of course. Now, as a great rule of thumb, usually you want to do the compound lifts first, unless you have a good situation that says otherwise, okay? Because if you don't have a good reason to do the isolation work first, you might be wasting a little bit of your time for the most part. That's why a lot of people preach a lot more about the compound lifts than the isolation work. Of course, you do not want to completely neglect isolation work. Do not. Because isolation work will hit all your weak links and it will get you a much more complete physique. Okay? So depending on whether you're a performance athlete or a bodybuilder will determine whether or not you should do the compound lifts first or not. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to list any video suggestions, comment, concerns, whatever, definitely make sure to leave a comment down below in this video, or you can follow me and DM me at Base Function on Instagram. And yeah, I'll check out your comment. I'll make sure to reply and see if I can help you out. Okay? So yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys take care and see you soon.